can be manageable, but it's very tricky to pull off because it demands so much gas. And when those Colossus pop out, it's just so hard to actually get these Archons in range of the Colossus, because that Colossus has a huge range, especially when Thermal Lance is done. That should be Chrono Boosted out as fast as possible, because he cannot apply any pressure or even use that Colossus any efficiently without that Thermal Lance. Now that B actually sees that Ryu is gearing up for third base, he should actually get it pretty soon, because he has a lot of minerals, throwing down a lot of gateways. These should be warped into warp gates, and a round of zealots should follow right there. There it is, warping in 6 zealots. And this army is starting to get scary. We actually see 112 to 121 supply, so B is actually ahead now, but I feel like he really should attack when this Thermal Lance is done, or at least not producing a second Colossus just yet. So, but throwing down a second robotics facility, so really wants those Colossus eventually, but not just yet. I guess he'll stick with the hallucinated Colossus for now. And still nothing happening here. This has been a very, very, very passive game by these two players, just keeping tabs on each other, not deciding to attack. These two players think that they don't have enough an advantage yet just to attack, and now Ryu actually getting his robotics facility for his own Colossus, so opting to switch to Colossus instead of Storm. And B again expoing right before Ryu. And I feel like Ryu should have exploded a bit earlier here, because there really isn't any pressure coming from this player. And as soon as this big huge ball collides with this huge big ball, we might see some fireworks there. And has Blink even been researched? No, still no Blink, still no Twilight Console for B, but now weapons level 1 is done. And I do think he also has weapons level 1, so both these players at 0-1 upgrades, but these Colossus benefit so much from this upgrade. Remember, they shoot twice, so they benefit twice as much. And these Archons actually get a nice little bonus, especially against the Zealots, which are biological. So these actually do 39 damage per shot to these Zealots. That is a lot of damage, plus all the splash damage, so especially since these Zealots don't even have charge yet, they will take so long to actually reach the opponent's Zealots, and these will be able to surround this army quite easily, especially with that charge ability. Now the expansion is up and finished for B, but Ryu is slightly behind on the expansion, but he can catch up in Harvesters. I think he is not chrono boosting his probes, but should be transferring a few over there, adding on 3 more gateways, so that is a lot of production from Ryu. He knows that on 3 bases he will be able to produce so much more. So wise decision there, adding on a lot more, and weapons level, no, actually armor level 1 going up for B, while that forge is still remains useless. There it goes, now just starting weapons level 2 and chrono boosting it. So we might be seeing an attack as soon as that is done, and now the Colossus are actually out for Ryu. He has a nice little tech advantage because he has charge and he has the potential for Blink, and he has those Archons in there. He actually started Blink right now, so he is far away in tech. He can actually tech the Storm here. That could be very useful against this huge Conted Ball. These Storms could do a lot of damage. Now that Colossus are up in about the same numbers for these two players, we actually see only 4 real Colossus and 3 hallucinated Colossus. So he will place them in front to tent a lot of damage, and this could be very dangerous if actually Ryu doesn't realize that these are hallucinations. He might target these downs while the real ones remain and stay alive, and this could do huge damage, especially if he engages right here. He'll have a huge concave, 1 Colossus in front, not having the right place. These Zealots engaging 1 force field, quite useless here. Ryu a bit indecisive here what to do. He's turning around, pushing forward. These Archons doing huge damage to all of those Zealots. You can see almost none of them actually hit. But now that these two huge armies are colliding, you can see that this huge ball of hallucinated Colossus are tanking a lot of damage. Not a single Colossus is dead yet. Now these Immortals do huge damage to the rest of the Stalkers. I do believe that B has the advantage here, and he will win this game because there's no way that Ryu can actually hold this off after this. Now the Colossus that were hallucinated just disappeared. There was an observer here throughout the battle, so he knew about those. But with these 3 single Colossus, he should actually walk them up the high ground, but no, too little, too late. He is gonna... He almost took it out, but that was just a tiny bit too much. Still a bunch of Stalkers left with 3 Colossus. These were the units he wanted to kill. Now with DTs coming up, actually no observer with this army. So these DTs might actually chase them away. As soon as that observer gets in there though, he will be able to actually re-attack because he now has 4 Colossus on the field while his opponent has only 1. So that is one huge advantage. Remember guys, if you have that meatball to actually tank damage, you can see there's only 75 to 114 supply, so B is actually worlds ahead right now. Except for the tech, he is ahead in everything else, and he is not. He actually has his own Twilight console with Blink, not opting to get charged just yet. But this is looking very bad for Ryu. Let's see if he can actually use these DTs to do any kind of damage. He should be warping 1 in to harass his 3rd base. Actually, this would be very effective because there are no cannons, and the army is actually almost in the middle of the map. And I don't see where the observers are. Maybe they were picked off in that fight. But if there are no observers on the field, that can spell disaster for B. Now he's going to go for another attack. This is wise because there aren't that many units. There are only 2 DTs here, but won't do much since there is an observer with this army. And these 6 real Colossus will do huge damage once these armies collide. Actually, Ryu going for a 4th base already. While BU is going for the gold base, he does have the advantage here. So when you're ahead, you always want to get even more ahead. B actually going for his 2nd forge to double upgrade. I wonder what that one is. There it is. Double upgrades here for B. He has 1-1 already. He did get that Twilight Council, so I believe that 2+2 is coming up. And meanwhile, Ryu in the upgrades only has 0-2, so that B will actually be ahead in just a bit here. Actually, 1 DT making its way finally to that 3rd base, but now there are cannons up, so he will get denied. He could actually start hacking away at this gold base before any cannons come up, but with this army really close by and that observer, I don't think this DT will do any kind of damage. These DTs could have been a lot more active throughout the game. I really feel like if you're gonna go for DTs, you might as well try and be active with them throughout the whole game, because now they just don't do as much damage as they could, and now even going into the mineral line and dying right away before getting even a single kill. And now B's army will move forward, and I think this will be GG, guys. As soon as these armies collide, there is nothing that Ryu can do here. He will try and meet this army. Some Stalkers looking at the high ground, but half of them actually staying on the low ground. Now these 2 armies will collide, but this is a lot of Colossus in the army. Look at these Stalkers melt. This will be GG. With these Stalkers in the high ground and in the main base, it will be just over. Expect GG anytime soon, guys. There is no way that Ryu is now coming back from this. These Colossus could actually just push in almost alone at this point. Actually, there are a lot of Stalkers, and there we go. He actually pushes them back. You should try and tiger this Colossus down. Just keep that count down. And with the forward pylon, he will be able to warp in a lot more units and push in as soon as he wants. That 4th base is now up for the 2 players, but with that gold base, it's still even more of an advantage here by B. So I really feel like this game has been over since that first engagement, and really, Ryu really has to work some kind of miracle here if he wants to stay in this game. Maybe he should go around and try for a base race as soon as B actually walks in, but even then, there is just so little chance for Ryu here. It's just waiting, so we'll forward this game just a bit because nothing is happening. And there it goes, there's the engagement. And this will be the final one, I guess. I know I've been saying that since the last 3 engagements, but I really feel like there's nothing much that... There's no other possible outcome than me pulling out ahead in this game. Actually, these Stalkers, these Zealots doing a lot of damage here, tanking a lot of damage, and this is just a War of the Worlds battle. Only 2 Colossus left, and why is B actually retreating there? There are only 2 Colossus against his 4. I don't know why he didn't push in there. There was nothing left, and with his own forward pylon, I mean, he can warp in reinforcements just as fast as his opponent. Now, a lot of Stalkers being warped in, while a lot of Zealots are in for Ryu. I really think that he could engage again right here. That 5 Colossus count is so high compared to only 2 for Ryu, now 4. Actually, he is producing double Colossus. So if he could engage before those Colossus count actually catches up, he will be in a very good shape. Now you can see 170 supplied to only 152, 187 actually. If he engages here again, he has the advantage in every engagement. I really believe that if he just throws units at his opponent, he will pull ahead. These 5th bases are up for both these players. And look at that army of Zealots melt to these Colossus Thermal Lance upgrade. And this will finally be game. I don't see him actually pulling back from this game. Bad timing. It has been bad timing since the first engagement, Ryu. And congratulations to B for winning that first game. I'll be casting that second game right after this. So he actually hit move as he moved in. I will be casting this second game right away, so tune in for that.